Started. Good. This is the intro.
I hit the button.
In the works with Brandon and Usa.
Thank you, Raviv, as always.
Thank you.
And how are you doing today? Exactly.
Is that
that's
your
what I thought.
question?
No, it's not. I was just curious. I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. But today we're talking about something that, I mean, it's pretty simple.
You saw me last week.
Did I? No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No. I was like,
oh yeah, you
hey,
said,
I can't.
That's right. That's right.
I have
Funny
too
enough,
much
I
homework.
read that when I was waiting for you. I was like, where the fuck are you
waiting for me.
today?
Oh.
You know, at 9.
Okay. Yeah, you read the wrong message.
No, I read the one above.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, our topic is pretty simple, wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
But it can be complicated in one's mind. You know, all right. I'm not going to fuck around. All right, the topic is minimalism.
I have the definition.
Okay, give us the definition of minimalism.
So, this is from the American Heritage Dictionary. No, I'm gonna go to the Merriam Dictionary one,
Okay.
because that's what we've been.
Do you have it
what
pulled
I've
up
been
already?
Yeah, it's right
Okay,
here.
go for it.
It's a style or technique, as in music, literature, or design, that is characterized by extreme spareness and simplicity.
So keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and kind of, well, we thought of this topic because we were messing around on, what is it, Chat GPT or something? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's going crazy. People are all over that, at least from my knowledge.
Yeah, so we were typing in topics just to see like what it would do and come out. And we kind of gave parameters of what we cover. And
I guess that's what we have to do because our viewers don't give us any.
Oh, don't even. We only got like 2. Chill. No, so we were curious, and that's just one of the things. I was like, you know what? That's actually really good because my room's a fucking mess right now, and yeah, lots of cluttered things. So we should like just do that topic. And just in a little research, it was a little more than I initially thought, but also some things that kind of aligned when I was thinking a little more about it. I was just like, oh, okay, that kind of fits. So yeah, you gave the definition. It's pretty much keep it simple.
Well, when you think minimalism, do you normally keep it with physical items or just
So
like mental?
initially when I hear it, it's people talking objects. It's just like less. In fact, sometimes previously I'd kind of get a little frustrated because when I hear people talk about minimalism, it was like obsession over minimalism. It's like complicating things in a minimalistic way, if that makes any sense. Like now you're so focused and distracted by decluttering that you're not doing anything else. And you're just trying to get the least amount of objects possible. And that's like all you're focused on is just as little as possible and nothing else. That's like, where's your head out? Just stuff still. So when I hear it, most of the time, I think of people and objects and the obsession with, less objects. What I would think of it as, like when I think minimalism, what I think people would think of is just less in general, just not worried about a lot of things, sticking with stuff that's necessary, which I guess that's a little more closer to what minimalism would be. And so, yeah,
The bare necessities.
Yeah. And not exactly just a physical thing either. It's also a mental thing. It's all about mindset. So I watched some things over minimalism.
And watched?
Yeah, well, read and watched and stuff like that. And what I came across is it's really about just being intentional. Another kind of definition someone gave is finding fulfillment in life and life purpose instead of objects or things. And using and consuming only what is necessary. So really just, if you don't need it, don't fuck with it. If it's extraneous, it's just going to clutter up. It's just going to be another thing, another distractor. So just get rid of it. And that includes That includes things mentally, but also it's not just about getting rid of things, about being focused on other things, or not physical things, but like your life, your experience, creativity. Maybe you really like designing things, so you design stuff. You don't have to get rid of all your shit to be a minimalist. Just what you need to get things done is what you have, and that's it. So it's really about clearing away distractions. It's really about focus, much like that. So yeah, I mean, down here I got all about mindset, and saying it takes perspective. You want to focus on your journey and where you are now. So if it applies to your life purpose or your journey, then you keep things around thoughts, activities, habits, stuff like that. If it doesn't, that's where you start going, I phase that out, change up, switch up what I'm doing. And discipline, it's really a practice too. It's not something that you just instantly, you're minimalist. It takes practice to be, I'm not going to buy that this time because I don't need, or, I'm used to thinking this way and really I need to shift my mindset this way. So it's keep it simple. I don't know. What's your initial take on minimalism and your thoughts regarding that?
Well, with minimalism, just like you said, it's just keeping things to a minimal, generally with objects.
Sorry. Keeping things to a minimalism. Yes.
Yeah. Minimalism. Yeah. I know from, for Buddhists, at least I know in Vietnam, they don't really have much. They just wear robe. I don't know what they're called.
Is it like Buddhists or the culture
like
generally?
the Buddhist monks.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, the Buddhist monks wouldn't really have much of anything, and that's what I'm kind of used to. I've never really. It's kind of weird because I've been around those monks a lot of times in my lifetime. Yeah, he was also a monk. Yeah. But I never really quite understood, see the process of doing things. It was quite literally just go to a temple, pay your respects, and then talk to monks. And that's the only concept that I have. I don't think I really learned anything about minimalism besides...
Well, not specifically minimalism, I should say.
Other than not really having much to work with and just getting donations and stuff. They still got their smartphones. Yeah. They still got their smartphones.
Hey, maybe it's necessary. Maybe it's not.
Maybe.
I don't know. They got a following on TikTok.
Probably. You never know.
Yeah, you never know, man.
But that's really just been my thing on minimalism. I've been thinking more about it in terms of how to, I guess, just ways I can use that in my everyday life.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to a group of friends on the phone a while back, and I brought up the question of minimalism because one of my friends, she was sleeping on like just a mattress on the floor and like no bed frame or anything. And, she was talking about how she got rid of a lot of stuff a while ago. So I was like, oh, what do you think about minimalism? And if I remember correctly, she wasn't necessarily a minimalist, but in the sense she kind of was, because what she was talking about is that, she just wanted to keep things simple. She didn't want things cluttered. She felt that, like, say, if her room was cluttered, her mind was cluttered, and also it extended into the sense of like mentality. If your thoughts were cluttered, your actions and such were cluttered. So she wanted to keep things simple in general. She wanted to not necessarily think in a simple way, but you know what I mean? Like not overcomplicate things in your head. Relationships, keep those simple too. And then with stuff, what do you need? What do you not need? So, and we were talking about like a violin. She was like, yeah, I used to play the violin. I'm like, oh, can you bring it out? Like, I don't know if I still have that. I might have gotten rid of it. Turned out her mom just like took it so she wouldn't get rid of it, I guess, or something along that manner. But
All right. So going to that, I just want to complain some more.
oh,
I just want to complain some more. And thank God it's related to our topic because, oh man, it kind of makes me frustrated. So
okay, here we go.
a little backstory, I guess not really backstory, but before we got here, I went to pick up Brandon and
Who's that?
he asked me how my week was or 2 weeks. And I told him about my school assignment. It's an informative speech assignment. And I overcomplicate things and I took it way too serious. Way too serious. So an outline was due Sunday for the informative speech. And yesterday, a practice speech was due, and that makes no fucking sense to me. So I go ahead. Part of the assignment was to go ahead and look at other people's who uploaded theirs, which was only 2 people out of maybe like the 20 people there are, and respond to them and evaluate them. I go ahead and do that. One is about saving the earth and taking care of the planet, you know, picking up trash. The other one was astronomy and
A little bit of
astrology and just like the moon and sun signs. And I'm over here doing my topic being, I forgot my topic.
I know what you want to say.
It's misdiagnosis of autism, which is very
For a speech class.
yeah. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, I really fucked myself over because these 2 other practice speeches that were done, one was 5 minutes long and the other one was 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I'm over here looking, I read through 6 different articles already. I had to choose 3. And then now I have to come up with topics on each of them and make them coherent with each other because I've had to rewrite my outline 4 different times just to make it make a little bit more sense.
Because that's a hard to navigate type of thing, especially if you're not like a
And then
professional in that area.
It got so cluttered up. I just started a new outline just so I can like process things from my old one and transfer it to my new one to make it just make it more coherent for me because it's so cluttered right now and I only have a fourth of it done.
Oh, jeez. And isn't it due like Sunday or something like that?
Yeah, but I've been working on it for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, you didn't keep it simple, bro.
No, I did it, and that makes me so upset because I could easily go on for a 20-minute speech with what I have.
Now, hey, if you were like, you know, getting your master's degree or doctorate or whatever, that was your topic, then maybe that would make sense. Maybe for, you know, a speech class.
No,
like,
it's an introductory speech class that I took.
maybe that's not the best way to keep everything simple and a little extraneous. Yeah. Maybe you'll learn something, so maybe it's not
I'm too far in.
But yeah, I mean, unnecessary stress, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But
so that's my experience. Not so much with throwing things away, but
yeah,
stupid assignment.
Overcomplicating something. And what does that do? It takes away your time. It stresses you out. And maybe not the best way. Yeah. And now you lose sleep, which is affecting your health.
Literally at my girlfriend's house, I slept for 5 hours. She woke me up so we could, you know, to try and slowly wake me up. We went uptown to like Quick Trip and stuff. No, my eyes were closed throughout the whole car ride. Yeah. I didn't go inside. I was just like, I was knocked out. I slept for 5 hours.
Yeah, you need more sleep, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe you should choose a simpler topic next time.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, among other things, you know, takes away your time and such. When you have too much going on in your head, too much stuff around, too many distractions, one should say, it kind of takes away your mental bandwidth. It takes from your mental bandwidth and your ability to really let your self shine through and your creativity to come through and, you know, things like that. It just, when you disperse your attention like that, it just kind of ruins the strength of like your laser focus or something like in that manner. So I guess it's again just about, it's really about honing in on stuff that you care about and fuck everything else, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you apply this minimalism type thing to your life now? Maybe not specifically just yet, but maybe also specifically.
I mean, really overall, if you just think about how to do the things you want to do in the easiest possible way, I feel like just doing that will just make your life so much easier, just because we've been saying it over and over again, but just to keep it simple, there's no need to complicate things.
What does that look like? Keeping it simple in what areas of your life? Like how, if you look at yourself now and you're like, okay, things are complex here, or I have a lot of things here, what does that look like to keep things simple?
Well, when it comes to physical objects, the easiest way, as everyone really does, is at some point they ask themselves, do I need this? And if I get it, what use will I have for it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the main question that a lot of people go through whenever they're like tossing things out. Otherwise, mentality wise, it could be a lot harder just because everyone is different. You could be a neurotypical that is just able just to, just, what's the word?
Let go.
Yeah, just let go a lot easier. It just comes very easily to them. Whereas someone who's neurodivergent is some sort of have some neurodevelopmental disorder.
Something happened in your childhood or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you hold on to stuff.
It could be a lot harder because it has a lot more meaning, or it was traumatic, or just a bunch of other stuff.
Or
so
I know aren't there things with like hoarders where it's like, they hold on to things because they think it'll be useful, or the sentiment behind everything.
Yeah. Children who grew up in the Great Depression, because their parents, hoarded so many things because, Great Depression, everything is valuable at that point.
Yeah. You need to be able to use things.
They still do that. Yeah. They still hoard. That's what they were taught to do.
Pack rat mentality.
Yeah.
In case you need it later, because, it might not be there later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And, everything can be repurposed, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Which, I mean, on one hand is a good mentality to have in the sense of, not being wasteful. But again, if it doesn't make sense to keep what you're keeping, then it becomes an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
As if it's materials you won't come across and you'll end up needing, then that's perfect. Oh, you have what you need, and hey, don't throw that away. We can use that. That's good. That's really good. In the grand scheme of things, like as humanity, wouldn't that kind of be almost like a thing of minimalism? Like you don't need to keep getting new shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, if it extends to, hey, you don't need to keep all this stuff. In fact, you don't even need to buy it in the first place. You don't need to pick it up. One of the biggest things that happens with is free stuff.
Yeah. Everybody
Everybody loves free stuff, but it also is like the biggest cluttering device in the world is free shit.
Yep.
I would say with like t-shirts, that's the biggest example I feel for me. Because you go to an event and you get a t-shirt, right? Whether it be not necessarily buy it, but like concert or a beat or like high school sports.
Being a minimalist.
What?
It's you get free t-shirts, but the person you could either throw it or you could buy something to launch it.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, no, that's not really. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on context there. But for me, like for a while, it was like t-shirts. I had all these t-shirts of camps, of sports, of all these things. And I just didn't know what to do with them because I didn't really wear them because they weren't, the best,
like relevant to
They weren't the best t-shirts. They were cheap t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they didn't fit well. but they had sentiment with each one, you know, like, oh, I remember doing this. I remember being there this year, like camp shirts, one for every year, right? There was a bicycle race that I helped volunteer for. I got like 3 shirts out of that, and I did that 2 years. My mom was putting on the event, so I was helping her out with that. And so I had like 6 shirts from that. And, you know, it just kind of gets higher and higher and higher with each thing. And then high school sports, you know, you buy one for, you know, when you're doing the sport, but then you end up getting a couple more somehow.
Yeah, because usually it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Plus like a jacket or something.
Yeah.
And that's every year.
Every year. And so, you know, there was one day where I was just sitting in my closet. I was going to, you know, I was trying to make space. And I have a small room.
Yeah.
So when I have a lot of stuff, I have less space. So that almost forces me sometimes to kind of go through the process.
You know what Master Oogway said in Kung Fu Panda 3, right?
What?
The more you take, the less you have. So you,
I guess
you took more things, and now you have less room.
And you have less space, yeah. So to make space, I had to get rid of things,
That's
right?
funny.
And I was trying to open up my closet to put some stuff in there that was like a piece of furniture and like clothing and stuff like that. And because I have like one of those closets that, you know, it's the width of like kind of longer, like width wise. And then it's just deep enough for like a shirt, and it has some shelves on top. So I was putting some stuff in there, and I was like, I have all these shirts on hangers and stuff, and I only wear like 3 shirts at any given time, you know? So I was trying to get rid of them, and it was so difficult because, you know, the memories for each one, and you're just like, oh,
The
man.
memories.
Yeah. And I think now I still have some of those shirts, but I got rid of like half of them, and it was a lot of shirts. But those shirts now are like in a box, and now they're just sitting, taking up space still. So yeah, that's one thing for me is shirts. Another, I guess, could be food. Whenever there's free food, I mean, you just consume and consume and consume, right? And you don't necessarily need that. It might actually be bad for your health.
I mean,
Like donuts, free donuts. I'm telling you, at work, it's terrible. There's free food, or sometimes there will be stuff that's expired, and they'll be like, feel free. Like, you can have this. They usually put it in a specific spot. You guys can have this. And I'm just like, oh, free stuff. And I eat worse on the weekends. That's the worst time I eat is when I'm at work, is because there's free stuff. And so but kind of ways to start getting into this stuff. First off, there's no rush. It's all about consistency. That's something I heard from a bunch of people, like on videos, and I mean, even not even specifically talking about minimalism, but just people talking about just getting rid of things, is there's no rush to it. Just be consistent. So that would be maybe reducing the intake of items before you start getting rid of them, because you can get rid of items, get rid of items. But if you're always replacing those items, you're still like zero, like no progress has been made.
Yeah.
So be intentional about what you're getting, you know, about what you need. And I guess mentally, like what you bring in and what you allow yourself to think, just getting your intake a little less. And that way, when you start dealing with clutters and things and you start getting rid of them, then you'll actually see progress. You just stop the intake, or it overflows and such.
So I actually pulled up 21 examples of extreme minimalism. Extreme minimalism. So, you know, obviously you don't have to do the extreme side.
No.
So take this with a grain of salt, pretty much. But I'm just going to go through like top 5. So the first one is getting rid of over 95% of your clothes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What if you only have 9 shirts?
Then you keep 2 or 1. I mean,
Okay.
You have 100
guess it
shirts.
is
You keep
extreme.
5.
Only need one pair of underwear, one pair of socks. In fact, you don't even need those at all.
Yeah, you know.
Bro. Just sandals and good pair of pants.
Yeah, I mean, if you're staying inside the house all day, you could probably just get away with it,
Yeah, but
honestly.
wouldn't you need to go out at some point?
I mean, not if you're extreme minimalism.
I don't know about that. All right, continue. This is extreme examples we're talking here.
Owning a single pair of shoes. And okay, that one doesn't count.
That's
That kind of goes with.
Oh, one thing I will say is, some people live in seasonal areas.
Yes.
So again, like keep necessary things. Like
For
if
sure.
you need your snowshoes, don't try to like, oh, I need one pair of, shoes. Keep your snowshoes because that's useful. That's pretty necessary for maybe your location. If you get like 6 feet of snow,
Yeah, for sure.
thick coat might be a thing you want instead of like just 2 t-shirts.
We definitely have to have a variety in the Midwest.
Yeah.
It's either too hot or too cold.
So, okay, like you just, don't be stupid. Keep it simple, but don't be stupid. If you need it, you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one may anger some people. It's owning 0 hard copy books.
That's not actually the worst because,
Yeah, for some people. Some people love hard copy.
well, I mean, it's not the worst idea
Oh, yeah.
because, I have a bunch of books at home and some of them I've read, some of them I have yet to read, but they take up space.
They do.
And if you're not reading them, they just take up
I'm
space.
thinking about tossing mine. Not tossing, but
Yeah. Although I do want to have access to them physically because I hate reading
on
electronically.
screens, yeah.
Yeah. So even Kindles, I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't like it too
They
much.
definitely tried to make it paper-like and like a book,
Hey,
but
which
it's-
they did. I'd say it's better than reading on your
yeah,
computer
definitely.
screen. Although, I don't know. It may be weird, but I just kind of enjoy the physical book.
No, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Number 4, having 1 or 2 pieces of makeup, which
I can do that.
I can do that too.
I'd have to go buy one, but
What's a palette? I don't.
yeah.
I feel like that's really hard just because most of the time there are different steps and layers.
Well, it's minimalism, bro.
Oh yeah,
chill the
yeah,
fuck
that's
out.
right. This is extreme.
It's extreme. I'd almost say don't even.
Yeah.
That's what I. Yeah.
That's maximum minimalism.
You don't need it. Just use your own.
We're not talking about maximum minimalism. We're talking about extreme minimalism right now.
Yeah.
All right. So there's also a no furniture living room.
Oh, on the makeup thing, I guess. You could also say cosmetics in general,
Oh, yeah.
because that could be a big thing. So some people, they have like this, 17-step face routine that takes 3 hours, and that might be impeding on your, life a little bit.
Mhm.
And maybe what's only necessary is a couple steps. So just kind of bringing it back a little to what do you essentially need? It depends on your job. Maybe you're a model. So maybe that 17-step
Is necessary.
is necessary for your work. Or maybe you work in construction and, maybe just keeping your face protected is really what it's about.
When I work in construction, I like spending 3 hours on my face.
Yeah, make sure everything's moisturized,
I
little
get facials too.
sunscreen, and that's about all you need. Cleanse stuff afterward, I don't know.
Yeah, no furniture living room. And since the first 2 kind of went hand in hand, number 6 is, I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand because it's talking about jewelry.
What do you think about the no furniture living room?
I think it's fine. No,
Would you rather have a no furniture living room?
I think it'd be kind of nice.
You have everyone over for dinner and then everyone sit on the floor.
It's just
You're having steak
it's just
and
like
you're
your
cutting it on
basic
the floor.
Asian culture. Like you see it all the time.
Yeah.
You just have mats down, and that's pretty much it.
And a pillow or something somewhere. I wouldn't mind. I don't think I'd go to a complete empty living room though. But yeah, I'm not a minimalist, I guess.
Maybe not. Yeah, you're probably right. Not completely empty.
You move into your house and you're like perfectly furnished, just the way I like it. I want to move in ready home, completely empty.
Yeah. It's like, wow, this is perfect.
Perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Fully furnished. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other ways to start and be consistent with things, kind of keep going with stuff, is doing challenges. You know, so maybe for a set number of days, you get rid of one thing a day. You know, and of course, you're stopping your intake. You know, and you just do that, and start with areas too. So little sessions of things. This is like if you're getting into it, not necessarily if you're already there, but maybe you notice you got a lot of shoes and you don't really wear all. Maybe start with the shoes one day. Just like, I'm gonna tackle shoes today. Which ones do I actually care about? Which ones do I have an attachment to? Which ones can I just get rid of? Maybe you have an attachment to shoes of a certain pair, and maybe it'll take a little longer to get rid of it, but you know you have some you could just throw away. So just kind of doing a challenge of, let me go through these shoes and try to get to where I want to be. Or maybe the junk drawer, or maybe parts of the kitchen, like your spice cabinet. You know, you've had
Those expired spices.
yeah, that's just been sitting up there. You didn't use
Or
cayenne pepper as much as you thought.
Abundant of knives that you keep buying because they keep getting dull.
Yeah. Instead of maybe just getting a really good one and learning how to sharpen it.
Yeah. So that's what my kitchen looks like.
Oh, it's just a bunch of yeah. I think
Just a bunch of knives,
at home, mine kind of does too. I do have the one knife that my boss gave me, but I haven't bought another one. Is it's just really a money thing. But yeah, just kind of focusing on little areas and challenges. How can you optimize or optimize? I hate that word.
I hate it too.
Yeah, little backstory.
Ever since that day,
we went to a supplement store, and the guy's trying to sell us stuff. He really just wanted to see what they had. And he kept saying, optimize. And this is something for optimize.
You really need to optimize.
Yes.
That's what people don't get. You need to optimize.
Talking about pretty much pills for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But
yeah, even though he says that,
he doesn't rely. Man, you don't got to rely on all these supplements and stuff. You really want to get your stuff from Whole Foods and stuff.
But what I do is
you got to optimize, and
you got to optimize and take supplements, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
He pretty much talks about like, yeah.
Before bed too.
He's like, I take these before bed with this, and this. And in the morning, just to get my day straight, I take this, and this.
That's the crazy part. He was literally listing off 3 per thing.
Like, yeah, it was a good amount. Well, he's trying to sell you. Yeah.
So that's not a good way of minimalism,
Optimize,
You keep it minimal. You maybe just one supplement a day. It could be like a
whoa. It's all about necessity.
Okay,
bro.
yeah. Just
it
like
depends.
Some people could just benefit off of a multivitamin, and that's it for a day.
Are you
just
giving
one pill?
Nutrition advice?
No, I'm saying that some people.
Careful people.
See, you're putting words into my mouth, because what I said was some people just need a multivitamin, and that's it.
Some people
need more.
Some people
take what you need. Some people are iron deficient and just need that. Some people don't get enough sunlight and need some vitamin D.
Yeah, maybe you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. But yeah. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
There was another thing I remember about this. It was kind of important.
Okay.
Well, shit, I don't know.
Take your time.
No.
There's nothing else.
I must not have had it written down.
It's okay. You probably wanted to keep it.
What was I even saying though? Optimize. I don't know. Make sure everything's where it needs to be. Oh, that's the big one. It's gratitude for the things you have and where you are now. That was one of the big kind of pillars I kept hearing over and over is gratitude for what you have. Yeah. Your one notebook or whatever, why you enjoy the notebook, why you got it in the first place. How does it serve you? Just, being thankful for you having the notebook. And yeah, being grateful for life, that you're living it and what you're doing. And just, yeah, gratitude was a huge one that I kept seeing.
Mhm.
If you're thankful for what you have, and you may not need a bunch of extra shit. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I got on that.
That's all I really have.
Short podcast for a simple topic. Yeah. Honestly, we could have condensed that down a lot further.
We could have.
We
could have just made it 10 minutes. But,
a 10-minute minimalist podcast to make it minimalist.
But then there wouldn't be a rant or anything.
I guess to make this not minimalist, so make it longer, I guess. What would you specifically change after talking about this? What is now, like, what has kind of come up to the surface? How would you apply minimalism? Because I'm not going to be a perfect minimalist. I know that for damn sure. I'm sorry. I like making things. So I have a bunch of random tools and materials lying around. You know, some of my interests go this way or that way, and I kind of cycle through them. So I have a lot of stuff. I'm not going to be a perfect minimalist in that way. So say for you, how would you apply minimalism to your life, even if you're not going to be a perfect minimalist?
So with my mental state, God, I want
That's
to
one way to start.
just stop overthinking things.
Okay.
Because some things are just as simple as it's just this.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just this. You don't have to overcomplicate it. When someone says something that sounds, I guess
Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, you're right. So an example is just I heard this story about husband and wife. Wife was like, "Man, this coffee maker is kind of It'd be really cool if we could get another one." But that wasn't her implying, "Hey, we should get another one" to the husband. It was just her thoughts. And so this man just buys a new coffee maker instead of asking, why he thought that, whatever, having conversation. So it was just overcomplicating it in, one's mind. And it was just like, oh, why is it bad? Why is it this? Why is it that? And just self-internalizing it and then just acting on that rather than just, it was just simply said. You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So that's one with me.
So just like mentally trying to keep things simple.
Mm-hmm. And just understanding, this was just said, nothing has to be done about it. And I've been working a lot on that.
Yeah, kind of finding a purpose.
Yeah.
That's really what it be. Purpose and intention is what keeps coming up. So.
But I could also work on, the physical object stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you already are, aren't you? You're trying to get stuff to like sell and such.
Yeah, but they're not going to sell for much. So I don't know if it would be like beneficial to sell some of those things.
Yeah. Because I know they are tools and instruments of sorts. So
because one of my things that is an audio interface, it's the first generation one. So it's pretty old, and I've only seen people sell it for a max of like $20.
Yeah.
And with shipping and handling, it's just, they're really...
Well, so if you can't find somebody to sell it to, if maybe there's somebody in need, you could always give it to them. So that's like, I have a bunch of jeans earlier. I'm actually proud of myself. Yesterday, we had pretty much a snow day, right? My class got canceled. Thank God it was a test that I was only kind of prepared for.
Was it that email that was just like, I just remember
it wasn't delayed start.
Delayed start, yeah.
But my class was,
just canceled
before that because it was
it was
canceled. And it was really nice because, in school I kind of let some stuff pile up, and like some stuff in my closet fell over and just made this huge pile of shit, and it was impeding on my space, and it was really getting to my mind. So I'm like, I just need to just bite the bullet, just go do it, clean it up, organize what's left. And I threw out a bunch of stuff that I was like, oh, I don't know why I have this. And then I got some clothes that, oh, I never wear these, like a bunch of jeans.
Mhm.
My thighs are too thick now to be wearing those jeans. And I put them on, and they were like, they were straight up skinny jeans now, and they're, pretty new.
Mhm.
So, or unused, I should say, not necessarily new. So I just got my stack of jeans, and I'm like, okay, find somebody to give them to. I know my mom usually knows people or places to give that to, so give them to her. Because I could probably sell some jeans, and like you said, for your object, it might not be that much money at all to sell those jeans. Yeah. So why not just give it to somebody instead?
Yeah, just donating.
So that's probably what I'm going to do with the jeans, at least. I don't know about specific equipment, but
oh, that's another thing with minimalism. It's I forgot. I lost it.
Yeah. Specific stuff, non-specific stuff, general.
It was a general statement. It was I just don't remember it.
I know for me, applying minimalism, right now I don't necessarily have time to do big declutters or go through things. But
I remember.
Oh, go ahead.
It kind of goes hand in hand with quality over quantity too.
Yes.
Because you can get something that is worth a decent amount, but still have less. But because you spent more on that one thing, you benefit more from it.
It sparks more joy.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess
it's more useful. It lasts longer.
Yeah. So that's one way I feel like I could live.
That's what I started doing a while ago, is trying to get stuff that'll last and not just more stuff, trying to get a good knife instead of like 23 different knives, things like that. And I mean, that's one thing I'll continue to do, is make sure I get the quality for what I'm doing.
Just don't make it a spending habit.
Yeah.
Because I did that.
That's one thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pointing at our podcast setup. If anyone,
that's one thing I've
wondering.
Also heard is when people get into that mindset of like quality over quantity, and then they think every piece of thing they have needs to be some expensive, really an over the top piece of equipment or something like that. Yeah. Like their keychain is, like the new whatever minimalist thing that costs like $300, when it really doesn't need to be that.
You can hear my keys. My keychain is a heart with glitters in it, and I got it at an arcade with my girlfriend.
I mean, hey,
it was cheap.
If it brings you joy.
It was cheap on ticket.
Yikes. I'm not judging you. It's just funny.
Yeah, it's the second one. The first one.
And your keychain's really cluttered there.
What do you mean? There's 2 set of keys, a house key, your mom's house key.
That's right. I forget. You did live there for a second.
A random key that I don't know what that goes to, a key fob to the gym, and then one keychain. Yeah. I have one keychain.
Hey, I'm not saying it's bad or anything.
Okay.
It's a little jingly, but whatever.
No, but you have 2 car keys on your thing.
But that's what I'm talking about, though, in the sense of like, okay, yeah, it's jingly, but do I need to go buy, an expensive thing that organizes and made of titanium, and and you end up spending more money and using something that maybe you really don't need. Maybe the jingling doesn't bother you. Like, it's not cluttering your head. It just really doesn't matter. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. Something I kept hearing over and over is, don't compare yourself to other minimalists.
Don't compare yourself to anyone at all.
Yeah. Well, in the sense that, like, you don't have to go extreme. It's not a competition of minimalism. Mm-hmm. Like, what does minimalism look like for you? It's take the principles and utilize them in your life.
Yeah.
And
it's how can you become greater?
How can you do more with less?
Yeah.
How can you allow yourself to flourish instead of being bogged down by other things? How can you focus on your purpose and not just follow distractions? So I think that's generally what minimalism is. And in this long minimalist podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
I don't have any more on that. At
I don't
least
have
now.
any more.
Maybe I'll think of something and say it somewhere.
Well, I ended off on a non-minimalist note. I got a new laptop. I bought it. It's back ordered. So okay.
Don't you have 3 laptops and a computer?
Technically, yeah.
Well, 3. One of them doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's the one
my
you're
last Mac
replacing,
broke,
right?
so I bought this one.
Mm-hmm.
My gaming laptop broke, so I bought a new one.
Mm-hmm.
This desktop that's being used isn't even my personal computer at this point.
That's right.
It's for the podcast.
Yeah, just to show you guys, we're talking about minimalism, and we're not.
Yeah, this is what you should not do.
We're not minimalist.
But I bought one of the newer laptops, the new generation ones, the ones that
New top
are
of the
really
line.
hard to get right now.
Yeah.
And my order is back ordered, which is stupid because it was a pre-order. So
Yeah.
I'm
Sucks
waiting on
to
that.
suck, bro.
But quality over quantity. I'm wanting this laptop
That's
to.
a beefy ass laptop.
I want it to last 7 to 8 years
So this might be the last one you own for a while.
because it's pretty beefy.
Yeah. That would be a quality over quantity thing as well. I mean, would you rather have to keep buying laptops or just get a really
Because
one that'll last a while?
this one is definitely stronger than the desktop that we're using right now.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
So even if you get into higher stuff, it'll still have capability for all that.
for sure.
Yeah, just buy like a screen protector and a case this time.
Yeah. I'm gonna pay an extra like 300 for 3 years of spill and drop.
That
warranty.
might be a good idea. Yeah.
So, but altogether, I guess with that warranty, it'd be 4,500.
That's a lot.
Yeah. To upgrade this computer that we're
I was
using,
concerned about buying socks yesterday.
to upgrade this computer that we're using, it would just been like 1,500. But no, I had to go with portability and convenience.
Okay, so about those socks though.
Yeah. What about
So
them?
they're kind of expensive socks in the sense that
Are
they're
they
like
the
$16.
merino wool?
Yeah, they're like $16 a pair for the really thin ones, right?
For the
But-
thin ones?
Yes, ultra light, the ones I'm wearing or was wearing.
Don't look it up here, baby.
No. Why did you do that?
Because you said the ones I'm wearing, and I looked down and you're barefoot.
Was wearing. Wow. Okay.
I
Sorry,
got
I
free
can't
content.
talk. I can't talk with my
Raviv,
socks
you can't get those. You can't. No pictures for you.
on. Oh my god, that's weird.
Thanks, Raviv.
So one of the best things about them is they have a lifetime warranty, no questions asked. So if there's a hole in them, I could trade them out for a new pair.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they recycle the material. I have to look on that, but so it's something where you buy it once and you pretty much, you don't have to keep buying them. Just as long as the company's still doing their thing, you could, your socks are damaged, you could give them the old socks and they'll give you a new pair.
How long does that last?
Lifetime. So
Oh,
pretty
it's
much
a
until the
lifetime.
company doesn't is what it is.
Until the company
Yeah.
is no longer there.
Yeah. Or stops doing that deal or whatever. So yeah. But that's one of their selling points is lifetime warranty. But it's also merino wool, so it's antibacterial, better thermally, moisture wicking, all these things. So they're better quality, more comfortable, and I find my feet don't smell throughout the day with them. And so I bought 3 pairs. I had 2 before, but I thought I bought 3 more pairs, and they're like $50 total for 3 pairs of socks. And I'm like, $50 on socks, Brandon, come on. But I wore cotton socks again while I was washing my merino wool ones, and it just reminded me how much more those socks are worth it. Comfort wise, again, like antibacterial, like all these things.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're
I'm trying to get things set up. I'm trying to find our cover art and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's again one of those things. Keep it simple. All right. Well, I guess we're done.
Yep, that's it. Thanks, guys, for listening. Remember to
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And leave a comment. I love seeing the comments that come up. Thank you, Raviv. And
Thank you, Raviv.
There's one other person who keeps commenting. I don't think we've ever figured out who it is. I'm not sure. I don't think it's Gabriel. Is it Gabriel?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's one other. They have a watermelon as their profile picture, right?
Here, let's look at the comments real quick.
Yeah. It's overdue.
Overdue, yeah.
And they got watermelon as their picture. I don't know what that is. Huh. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading.
Promo SM.
Not sure what that means.
So much? Is that supposed to be so much? Promo so much? I don't know.
No, I don't know. But yeah, comment. I love seeing comments. But yeah. All right. And with that, I guess we'll skedaddle.
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.